Hey there, comic fam. Welcome back to Climbing Comics. In today's sesh, we'll be talking about this box, my 2020 goals. Hey there again, comic fam. Welcome back to Climbing Comics. I'm going to put this box down. It's quite heavy. We'll be talking about my 2020 goals today, and we'll talk about if I reach them or not. So, when I talked earlier this year about my 2020 goals, I set the expectation of three big main collection goals. So essentially that was one, collecting all of the ASM annuals from number 1 to present. 2, collecting the Dark Phoenix Saga from X-Men. Believe that's issue number 129 to 138. And 3, a lot of the first appearances of the Justice League Dark main team. So this past year has been pretty fun. I've been able to actually collect a lot of them. And just to give you guys an idea, this is kind of my list that I wrote on a backing board on both sides. And let's see. So let me break this down first. So the ASM Annuals, it was very interesting to hunt and to find because it's not all linear. So before I show you the books themselves, I want to break this down. Essentially, I didn't know what I was getting myself into until I actually did it, because there were a lot of weird gaps in terms of years. You would assume number 1 would be from when they first came out, 1964, 2 would be 65, 3 would be 66, and so on and so forth. There were some gaps. So let me just go through those gaps first. Number 8 is 1971. Number 9 is 1973. So it skips 1972 for some reason. And then between 9 and 10, they skip 1974 and 75. I'm not sure why. I do have to do some more research about that to tell you why. And then there was no 1995 for some reason. I found out that there was like a Symbiote World comic, so I did pick that up because I think that was like the placeholder representation of the ASM Annual for that year. Then starting after that, they stopped using the same numbering system. So instead of being 29 for 1996, they stopped using number 29 and then they just called it 96 or 1996. So 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, all were listed out by the year. So this is the first volume, 1 through 34, right? 34 being 2001. Volume 2 started at 35. This is 2008. So 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12 are 35 through 39. So that's volume 2. Volume 3, it's weird. They call it 2014, but I think it's 2014/2015 just because of the time that it was released. And then volume 4, 2016, I believe it's a mix of 2016, 2017, because there's no 2 books for those 2 years. There was only 1 book. And then there was a separate 2018 book and a separate 2019 book. So that's essentially the weird breakdown that I had for the ASM Annuals. And I'll definitely put a picture of my backing board up here so you see exactly what I'm talking about. The asterisks, the mark, anytime there's a weird difference of year that didn't make sense, or when they started not calling them by their normal numbers, but then they started calling them by year. So without further ado, this will be the first time that I'm actually showing books in any of my videos. So I'll start with the latest. So this is 2019. Spider-Ham. This is 2018. Cool Del Auto cover. So this has Wayne Brady in it. This is pretty funny. This is the mixed 2016-2017 book. This is the 2014-2015 book. I got it from my comic shop. This is also another 2014-2015 book. I like that cover. Next is number 39, 2012. 38, 2011. 37, 2010. 36, 2009. 35, 2008. It's one of those cool kind of 2000s like kind of image cover. So 2001, number 34. This is a very interesting cover with lots of little pieces of Spider-Man. 2000, number 33. Now is, you see it says 99 annual here. So this is 1999. This should be number 32. This is pretty cool. Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. This is 1998. I recently watched the Disney Plus 616 about Moon Girl and the artists from Spain there. So definitely that's a cool read. Next is 1997, number 30. Next is 1996, number 29. So this is where they started using the years. So before this, this should be the actual the years. But so this is the weird gap that I mentioned before. There was no 1995 annual, but with some research, I found that this was, I believe, that placeholder. So Planet of the Symbiotes, Amazing Spider-Man Super Special, with a cool foil cover with Symbiote Planet. Before all of this null talk. All right, back to the normal lineage. So 1994, number 28. You could see they actually wrote down number 28 on here, 1994. Number 27. A lot of these books, I had to go out hunting in my local comic book shops, as well as like my comic shop online. That was Lone Star Comics, a Texas comic store. So I have here number 26, 1992. This is a 3-part The Hero Killer series. I was lucky enough to get all 3. So this is also number 26, part 2. And this is number 26, part 3. All right, so we have 25, number 25, 1991. We have 24, 1990. Now we have number 23, 1989. 22, 1988. This is a cool speedball. Oh, this is a very iconic cover. This is number 21, the special wedding issue, 1987. We have number 20, 1986. This has a cool cover of the Iron Man of 2020 this year. Number 19, special birth year, 1985. Mary Jane as Spidey. Number 18, 1984. Cool cover there. I have a couple doubles of these. Number 17, 1983. 1982 is number 16, Monica Rambeau. This is a pretty cool issue. I ordered one online and I found one at my LCS. Number 15, number 15 is 1981. Number 14 is 1980. This is a really cool, I really like this cover with Doctor Strange right there. Now we have 13, 1979. We have number 12, 1978. And number 11, 1977. Number 10, 1976. Number 9, 1973. This is one of the jumps, but it's a really cool Green Goblin cover. Number 8, this was 1971. Number 7, this is like one of my best copies of my annuals I got from my LCS. This was the original owner. Um, and this is 1970. Number 6, 1969. We're getting into the last few. Number 5, 1968. Another cool cover. Number 4, this is actually one of my favorite covers of the ASM Annuals with the Human Torch. And you could see right here it has the date stamp. So this number 4 came out in 1967. Number 3 came out in 1966. There you go. And then the last 2 I actually have slabbed. So for number 2 is from 1965. Here you go. And then my pride and joy here is my number 1, ASM Annual number 1, 1964. There you go. Great. So these are my ASM Annual books that I was able to collect. If you know or if you understand why some of these came out, when they came out, or why they skipped years, definitely please let me know in the comments below. These are very interesting finds. These are like one of my fun hunts because it's not all linear, right? So, second big goal of the year I want to talk about is my X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga. So these are essentially numbers 129 to 138. This is right smack dab in the middle of the Claremont run. So I'll start with my books that I have here. So first off, I have number 129. This is one of my favorite ones because this is the first Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, and the Hellfire Club. With the new Dawn and like the Dawn of X books, Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost play big roles there. So in number 130, this is the first Dazzler and Sebastian Shaw, or the Black King. Emma Frost is the White Queen. Sebastian Shaw is the Black King. So not the King in Black, like the Venom fans out there. So number 131, Jean takes over as Black Queen. Spoiler alert. Number 132, Black Bishop. You kind of see Black Bishop here. You also see the White Bishop as well. So that's, I believe, Harley Leland and Donald Pierce. Next is a very iconic cover. So this one is 133. This is where Wolverine's healing powers are actually revealed. They were hinted at in earlier issues, I believe in 116, but this is where they reveal he has the healing ability as part of his powers. So number 134. This is an epic one because this is where Jean becomes the Dark Phoenix. This next one is a really cool cover as well. This is number 135. This is the first appearance of Senator Robert Kelly. We all know him from the 90s series, the TV show. This is number 136. Another cool cover. I think I love all the covers of this whole Dark Phoenix series. This one, yes, number 137. Jean Grey's death. Or is it? And in here, I looked it up. There's appearance of both Skrull and Kree. So this could be, a tie-in for like the future MCU. And kind of a sad, but number 138. So this is where Cyclops leaves the X-Men. Or does he? All right. So that is my Dark Phoenix Saga pull for this year, and I have successfully filled out those as well. So we are currently 2 for 2 for our 2020 goals. Last goal of the year. This is going to be the backside of my backing board. Justice League Dark. This was a little bit of a harder to find batch of books because a lot of these characters are from the Golden Age. So I picked and chose which characters I wanted to go for and which ones I wanted to stay away from. So let's start. So I think how I want to show this to you is one of the Golden Age books that I was looking at was the first appearance of Spectre, right? So his first appearance, I believe, was in More Fun Comics number 52. This is Golden Age book. Could not get that book, but instead I got his first Silver Age appearance, which is DC Showcase number 60. Next was a really cool book. This is Man Bat. So this is Detective Comics number 400, first appearance of Man Bat. Another cool character is Etrigan. So he first came out in this Jack Kirby Demon number 1. Cool book here. Next is a pretty funny one, but I was able to find this slab on eBay. And this is the first appearance of Shade. In Shade, the Changing Man number 1. One of the big characters in Justice League Dark that ties a lot of it together is Xanadu. So I was lucky enough to find Doorway to Nightmare number 1, first appearance of Xanadu. Now we get to more of the heavy hitter club for what I consider my heavy hitters of the main group. So this one is the first appearance of Deadman in Strange Adventures 205. Cool cover. It took me a while to get this book because I was being patient about it, but I didn't want to pay over FMV, and definitely was looking for that. So the last couple books that I want to share with you are, first, let's talk about John Constantine. So his first appearance, or partial first appearance, was in DC Sampler number 3. So I have a couple copies of this. But his first full appearance was in the Saga of Swamp Thing number 37. This amazing yellow cover. And then my last two are my pride and joy of my collection this year, because it was very hard to find these books. And so the first one I'm going to talk about is Zatanna, one of my favorite characters, or actually my favorite character in this book, as well as the Swamp Thing. So let's show off Swamp Thing first. I think everyone knows House of Secrets number 92. I did a short comic summary of this book a couple episodes ago. I will definitely get this graded at some point, but I'm just enjoying it right now. It's a really great book. And last but not least, my favorite Justice League Dark character, Zatanna, and her first appearance was in Hawkman number 4. Great. So, some things I didn't get this year. There was one big book that I really wanted to get as part of the Justice League Dark collection. It was not Dr. Fate, because he was in More Fun Comics number 55. So he came a little bit even after the first appearance of Spectre. But it was actually Detective Chimp. Detective Chimp, his first appearance is in Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog number 4. And I could not find this book this year. I did see it once in an auction, but it went way beyond FMV and beyond what I was willing to pay for that book. I did attempt to get that book, but it just kind of went over my threshold for it. So there are a couple other characters like the Dr. Fate, both the Kent Nelson and the Nisor versions of the character, as well as Raven and Black Orchid. I decided not to get those, as well as the Spectre, like I mentioned before. But I think, overall, outside of this, the only one that I feel like I'm missing is Detective Chimp. So I'll definitely be continuing to look for that book next year. So how would I grade myself for my kind of comic book collecting this year? I'd definitely give myself a higher grade. It was not quite perfect, but I'm super happy with all of these books, because I feel like the way that I'm setting myself up is all of the books that I'm going for right now are not just for this year. These are all feeding into my long-term goal, right? So let me just kind of give you an example, right? So I think these 3 sets of books taught me three really good lessons, right? So number 1, with the ASM Annuals, setting goals is one thing, but then kind of knowing what you're looking for is the next thing, right? There was a little bit of confusion in what I was trying to collect and like what came along with it. So learning a lot about the history throughout the collection was really good. So outside of that, that's what the ASM collection hunting taught me. Next, for I guess the X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga. This whole year, I've been really wanting to get a lot of first appearances of a lot of characters. And, I already wanted the first Emma Frost and the first Kitty Pryde. So then I believe this is the number 129. And I said to myself, why not get like that short run of the Dark Phoenix Saga? Because it scratches that itch of me wanting to get first appearances. There's a ton of first appearances there. I learned about learning about Wolverine's healing ability, because that's already in canon and that's already part of like the things that we know from the cartoons and whatnot. But it was kind of cool learning about the history there. So having that collection of 10 books is essentially going to feed into my long-term goal. And lastly, the Justice League Dark really taught me to get what I want early, right? Because before the Justice League Dark news about the movies and the shows coming out, I definitely ran with it. And a lot of these things are kind of harder to find, so I'm glad I started early. So I think I set my goals for this year. I've reached them like 99% essentially. But definitely need to still look for Detective Chimp next year. And so my next year's goals are definitely gonna still feed into long-term goals, but kind of come from the same vein as these goals. So definitely I wanna ask from you guys, like, what were your goals this year? How did you think that you've reached those goals? Please definitely comment below. And I'll bring more content into my videos next year, but definitely please, if you like this content, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, and click that bell icon notification so you're notified of when I come out with new content. Well, thanks for joining me today, everyone. All right, talk to you later. Bye.